In the last segment, we looked at a couple of ideas that were used, and I pointed them out as an example. There are more, believe me, trust me, in other parts of this wisdomactivist.org. You're going to find other recordings. It's going to go deeper into this, but I use these two as an example to show you, hey, look, let's find out what actually happened to righteousness. How does it get interpreted as, okay, this means to be good, or it means to be accepted by God, or otherwise you don't get to go to heaven. How did it get turned into this? And these two examples are two of the heavy tenets of church policy before the Enlightenment period, where they became really hardcore, very serious policies that many people lost their lives over. That's how serious those policies became before the Enlightenment period. And still to this day, they are policies in the church, but we live in a different time. We live in the 21st century, so they don't have as much control, not even close to what they used to do, or to be able to do what they used to do, rather, because they had that kind of power way back then. They don't have it today. But the policies are still the same policies, and since we're looking at righteousness, we wanted to see that. Now, in this section, we're going to start looking at the real meaning of the word righteousness and how seriously empowering it really is, because with some of that stuff out of the way, and there's much more, I'm just using those two biggies, with some of that stuff out of the way, maybe we can move forward now and look at this thing with a little bit more objectivity to show you something. And all of this is written in the text. This is the Bible they want to throw out. This is Christianity they want to destroy. But destroying this wisdom is really stupid. It's like destroying some kind of currency, but a currency that deals in universal power, a currency that deals in creation. It's really kind of stupid. And we're going to look at that in this section. So let's do that now. I think we should start by looking at this. Raw truth, real truth, is a derivative of the system of righteousness. It's a derivative of, here's creation, and here's how it works, and here's how it functions. And righteousness is part of the system of creation. That's why, looking at real, raw science, not the kind they use for political chicanery to convince people of stuff that's just bogus, but I'm talking about real science, real physics, real mathematics. That stuff is part of righteousness. Science, what we know of as science so far, is part of righteousness. Because righteousness deals in the real world as well as parts of the esoteric world. It deals in the energy. It deals with all four components. So when you talk about real truth, and when you talk about this is how things really work across the board of the entirety of the cosmos, you're looking at righteousness. It's a system. It is a single system. It is one system. It is one gold standard to everything. Everything is judged by it and through it, because it is the system that runs with creation itself. This is a big point to understand, a really big point to understand. And that is why I'm saying, hey, there is one gold standard, and that gold standard is righteousness. Because all real truth, all raw truth, all raw truth. I don't care if you're talking about human psychology. I don't care if you're talking about human sexuality. I don't care if you're talking about this or that. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. You could be talking about how do we make an ice cream cone. You can be talking about what can we make out of rubber? How do we make a tire? How does the engine work? What is combustion? What is solar power? What is this? What is that? It doesn't matter. It's all couched in the reality that we live in a system. One system. One system. And that system, part of that system is governed by what righteousness really is. Okay? You cannot shrink that down to something that says, well, we can look at this, but we're going to couch it in terms of, well, do you get to go to heaven or not? This is the stuff of the here and now. It's also the stuff of the hereafter. It's also the stuff of what the creative force is. It's also the stuff of what life force is, how it works. This is also the stuff of, here's the ecosystem of the planet Earth. If you mow down the damn rainforest, and you're going to sit around pondering, well, how come the air system is jacked up? Well, idiot, because you mowed down the friggin' rainforest. How come the water's polluted? Idiot. You keep poisoning it. You see what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm getting to when I'm saying this? Because, man, it is oh so important in this time we live in, because please, please, please understand, our planet is run by the conquering factions, still to this day, 2016, but it's really clear now, by the conquering factions of empire. Empire is an age. It's an age. And I should probably talk about the word forever, and most of it in the Bible actually means to the end of the age. But it is an age. It is an age, okay? It's an age. We're in it right now. We're in the empire age. We're in the age of empires. We're still in the age of empires. Only now it's global. Like the whole planet, it is seized up. But check it out. Take a look. We're just getting started, but we need to look at this thing seriously. Because this idea that has been hoisted upon us, that righteousness actually means this kindergarten, nursery school rubbish, is wrecking us. It's almost like Hosea 4:6 again. My people perish for lack of knowledge! Bastards! And how the hell did we get like this? Because of the conquering factions. We live in the age of empires. This is the kind of rubbish they do. We need to see through that. See into the truth. Look into the raw truth. Listen to your soul, for God's sakes. I mean, we all have ideologies bouncing around in our heads. Don't think we don't. We all have ideologies bouncing around in our heads. Okay? And some of the ideologies are just plain stupid. Some of the ideologies are just plain brainwashing. A lot of our ideologies come out of religion. Not just one type or this type or that type. All types. All types. Because we're not weighing those types up against the gold standard. We're not weighing our human psychology up against the gold standard. We're not weighing the way we live on planet Earth as one thing, one system, one ecosystem, one thing up against the system of righteousness. And therefore we get these ideologies and we say, oh, well, yeah, that's the truth. Because these are our ideologies. No, 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 no. We the people, we are we the people. We the people have been hoodwinked. There is a gold standard. It's the gold standard of every single damn thing. There is no thing that the system of righteousness does not tie into in all of the 100 billion galaxies of creation and more. Go to any galaxy, the system of what we're calling what we know of. Well, we don't know it anymore because it got hijacked. But what real righteousness really is, what we use that, okay, we're earthlings. This is what we think of, and we name it righteousness. A way long time ago before they decided to sabotage it because it's very powerful. This thing still operates in other galaxies. It still operates in other parts of this galaxy. Our ecosystem. This planet is one single living organism. Our ecosystem is tied into it. It patterns, it governs the ecosystem. How does the water clean itself? How does the air clean itself? How does this planet sustain life? Why does this planet keep giving us stuff? How come there's more now than there ever has been? Because we pulled more out of the earth. It all comes from the earth. Nobody owns the earth. I don't care what the kings say. I don't care what the charters say. I mean, it's good that we have those things because it keeps people from killing us. It keeps them from just walking in and taking over because we still have this conquering mentality in ourselves. We still have this dualistic approach because we're dualistic beings. And we need to look at that too somewhere later down the line. But right now we're talking about righteousness. But we will look at the lies that we manufacture in our heads because of our dualistic ideas and our dualistic personalities. This is just part of what we are as humans, okay? But right now we're looking at righteousness. Because hijacking it is destroying us. Hijacking it is killing us. And it wasn't done for no purpose at all. Hijacking righteousness was done with intent. These people that rule, these people that hijack the knowledge from a long time ago of what this planet is, how this planet runs. They didn't want we the people. I don't care if it's 5,000 years ago. It's still we the people. They make slaves out of we the people. They exploit we the people. And we're talking thousands of years ago. They use we the people as a resource. They take from we the people. What do you think our tax system is? It's a tribute system. It's an empire system. What do you think interest is? What do you think interest was banned in the Bible? Like in the Israeli thing, they didn't have interest. They'd take you out and kill you if you tried to pull interest on people. I'm going to loan you some money, but oh, here's the interest rate. It was a capital offense because the being that set that place up said, no, this is ridiculous. This is unrighteous. And you are going to be righteous because you are going to tie into the righteousness system because I am the founder of the frigging cosmos. And you're with me. Do you see? Do you understand? Whew. See, on this planet we have these two systems running. This is what the Christ was trying to tell. This is what he was trying to say before it all got jacked up and turned into a religion. Hey, there's two systems running, kids. You have the righteousness system running, and you have the world system running. They're running side by side. It's two twin systems. It's a dual system because the Earth's jacked up. It goes back to a long time ago, but the Earth is jacked up because it's running these two systems. If you want to live in the world system, by all means live in the world system, but understand it's a system of lies. Understand it's a system built on ideologies, not truth. Understand the karmic implication. They didn't use the word karma. Karma comes from the East. Understand the sowing and reaping implication. Same thing. If you live like this, this is what's going to happen. This is real life, kids. Welcome to planet Earth, kids. This is real life, kids. You can live like this or you can live like this. I'm turning you on to the way. This is how it works. That's why I'm describing myself as the way, the truth, and the life force, the existent force. This is what it is. Not some other crap they're telling you. That's religion. My God. And disempowering. This is the world system. Filling your head full of ideologies. And people, honestly, if you think that religions of all flavors and fashions don't play in the realms of world systems over time, not all of them, but most of them, at one time or another, buy into world systems and start altering their philosophies and their doctrines and their dogmas to fit into the world systems because they get tainted because of human nature, then you need to rethink that position. But understand this, righteousness is the ultimate standard by which all things, all systems, all eco aspects of the ecosystem of planet Earth, all human systems, all animal systems, all plant systems, all mineral systems, all every system. Healing every system. This is Earth. It runs by way of the ecosystem. Anything other than that is a twisted reality, is an ideology. Ideology is messed up in so many cases. The reason it's messed up in so many cases is because it's part of the world system. We're in this world, but we're not of this world system. You can choose to be of the world system. That's your privilege. We do have free will. I don't care what the Calvinists say. We have free will. We have to choose. But what are you going to choose? But you don't even have the option to choose if the system of righteousness has been stamped out, worn down, worn out, and turned into some nursery school, pre-kindergarten rubbish that says, well, if you don't make God happy, you're not going to go to heaven. That's not the intent. That's not the way, the truth, and the life, what Christ describes himself as. That's not how it's set up. And going back in time to some of these other people that weren't nearly as intensive and as close to the actual source, the force behind creation itself, as the Christ was, way back in time, they were saying the same thing. Like, wake up, people. That's what they were telling the people thousands and thousands of years ago. They were saying, this is the cosmos. Tie into it. The same thing that Christ is saying. Return, 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 return. What do you think that salvio thing means? It doesn't mean save from hail. It doesn't mean that. Salvio means it's like taking a ship in the ocean and we're going to salvage this. What are you doing? You're picking it up from some wrecked place and bringing it back into here's the common world of the here and now. That's what it means. It also means to heal. When something's jacked up, like the world system is a toxin. It's toxic. So much of this planet that goes on every day is so frigging toxic. And that guy of 2,000 years ago, he was saying, look, man, you need salvio. You need healing. Because you live in this environment, it's so toxic to you. Your 4 components are being toxified. Come, let's do it like this. Let's do the way. And now we're going to supercharge your 4 components. That's why they were doing miracles. Come on! Wake up! We are talking about the righteousness system. All of that stuff is part of the righteousness system. All that stuff, the guy, Christ, was saying is part of the righteousness system. And I'm not one of these people that advocate, oh, you can't look at anything else except the Christian world because otherwise you're going to be burning in hell. I don't advocate that. I advocate looking at wisdom. There's gobs of wisdom on this planet, but you better understand the capstone of that wisdom is actually the force of creation, the creative force. And the system that runs it, especially for us as the humans, as the beings of this earth, as earthlings, is the righteousness system. That is the gold standard to everything. In every galaxy, including ours, the Milky Way. That's what that is. We're so brainwashed and we're so screwed up because of these empire mentalities that have been running this planet for thousands of years. Thousands of years, thousands of years, thousands of years. Okay? Thousands of years is a long thousands of years is a long time to be bending people's consciousness. Unfortunately, for thousands of years, the people have been turned away, like literally it isn't available to them to understand, hey, these are the 4 components. And I can supercharge this. And I can start with these methods right here until I can tap into the real supercharging power. You know, but that power, that's real supercharging power, gets jacked by religion. It happens all the time. Why do you think that Christ actually came in that form? Instead of the form of some guy like the Buddha or something. I mean, it came in an incredibly intensive form. And said, hey, I'm actually, this time, I'm really the creative force. Incarnate. I'm living as a human, as an example for you. Okay? Wake up. Let's do it this way. Way.